we have here a very special guest today.
You're so dramatic.
It's Iyanna. So, Iyanna Amor, you
Uh-huh.
have one of those Instagram names.
I do.
You have one of those Instagram names that, I mean, I call you that.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
Like, yeah, like
I like that.
I
It's my name. It's my actual name.
It's your actual name?
Amor is my middle name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it didn't come from nowhere. I'm
right.
not trying to like culturally
Damn.
appropriate.
So you really are a
Even
girl.
though I am half Mexican, but like, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Wow,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
makes a lot of sense. So you're
Doesn't
like
it?
a born lover girl.
I am a born lover girl,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah.
And then when I was married, my name was like Iyanna Love Jones, basically. So
Oh,
it's like,
wow.
You see?
Bars.
You see?
That's what you were going for then.
That's
Okay, all right. Okay, let's go to so we're here with Iyanna Amor McNeely.
What's up?
Who's joining us, who you should know from Love is Blind Season 2.
Or not.
Or from Fill in the Blank podcast,
Hopefully, yes.
And, just life. You've been out here living your best life, and I think many, many people, whether they heard about you through the pod, heard about you from, Love is Blind, I think have just found you. You're just a ray of sunshine, a ball of energy and, uniqueness.
Thanks.
So, I mean, if you're here for whatever reason, hopefully some of y'all are here for me, but we have the Iyanna Amor here with us.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. I'm going to start, with, we met through a mutual friend.
Yes.
Well, my friend. Y'all were a little more than friends, but...
I was like, is that what you want to call it? Okay.
Well, and with you all's relationship is when I first had the conversation.
Oh, the conversation.
The conversation.
What does that even mean?
So it's a conversation I have now regularly. I call the conversation.
Oh.
And what it is when I'm friends with someone, guy or girl, and I meet the person that they're seeing, whether it's been a couple days, couple weeks, couple months, at a point, sometimes, not with every partner, and not at, certain times with everyone, I have the conversation. Yeah. Conversation goes pretty much like this. You're the friend. Bro, really, really happy for you both. I love Iyanna.
Where is this going?
So much so that we now have to have the conversation.
Okay.
And the conversation and the situation is, I hope you two work out. I hope you two stay together forever.
Yeah.
But if not, she's my friend now.
No.
We are friends now. We are friends. We don't need you to sustain our friendship.
And we haven't.
We haven't. And if you don't work out, it may become awkward for you.
Yeah, for him.
Because the friendship will continue. And
it has.
And it does. And so that conversation I had with, our mutual connection. And I've had in other relationships, other friendships of mine. And it's a thing that I've come to find really important.
Yeah.
In this world of dating and undating and messiness and backstabbing and betrayal. Whoa. Okay, all right. We're going to stay away from the drama side. But that happens.
It does. Not with, recently, yes. But not usually with me.
Not usually. Yeah, we don't get into maybe not the drama side of it, because I really want to know how you come out of all you've come out of. So let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
This is the Road Less Traveled. This show is about this conversation is about talking to folks who have a connection point in Rhode Island.
Yay.
As a transplant myself, came from Boston, landed in Rhode Island, loved here, anchored here, stayed here, Rhode Island until I die. It has always attracted interesting people with interesting stories. Whether you were from Rhode Island, you left, or you're out of Rhode Island, you came by, you stopped by for a spill, there's always something interesting about the time that you spent in Rhode Island and how it's influenced your journey. So that's why I figured we should have a show about this.
Agreed.
So before you came to, what I wanna know what brought you to Rhode Island. Where were you before? And what was the point where you're like, it's time to go to Rhode Island?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I had just graduated from college.
Okay.
I've always wanted to leave Georgia since middle school.
Okay, so from Georgia.
From Georgia.
From Georgia?
Georgia.
Not Atlanta? Georgia?
Like, do I say Atlanta? Because technically not the city of Atlanta,
Okay.
more so Metro Atlanta.
Metro Atlanta.
So people who are from Atlanta be like, no, you're not.
So you had that beef, because that's a thing.
That's
I'm
a
from
thing.
Boston. People be
That's
like,
a
I'm from
thing.
outside of Boston.
Yeah, you're
and they
right.
tell people they're from Boston, then they talk to me, and they're like, fine.
Yeah, you
kinda
gotta be specific. So
Okay.
technically, I'm from Marietta, Georgia,
Okay.
which is like 15 minutes from the city. So basically, so I had just graduated. I had always wanted to leave. I started looking for jobs months before I was supposed to graduate.
Okay.
Graduated and left a month later.
Okay.
Ended up in Boston.
Okay.
It is very expensive to live in Boston.
We bet.
Yeah. And then somehow I started looking in places in Rhode Island. So I started living in Rhode Island and commuting to Arlington, Massachusetts for work. And the rest was history. Then I ended up staying here for a couple of years.
Yeah. You know what? This one shows how smart you are.
Oh.
Truly. Because, to be in Boston and be like, this doesn't add up.
Because it don't.
And to be like, okay, where else can I make this work? Not enough people in Boston. And I'm glad. Stay
where you are.
Stay where you are. Except if you're bringing what Iyanna brings. If you are, please come right on over. Make the smarter decision. Balance it out. Eventually, you'll find something in Rhode Island that will keep you.
Yeah. Someone actually gave me that advice. They were like, you should start looking in Rhode Island. I was like, in Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Rhode Island? What's even there? White people.
So that is what people think.
That's what I
want
assumed.
to make clear. Providence particularly is an incredibly diverse city.
Is. I was shocked.
Yeah, and we have things in Providence that aren't in metro area Atlanta. In the amounts we have it here, and the diversity and the variety.
No, I agree. I agree. I actually really agree. I was shocked when I got here, and even now when I tell people I lived in Rhode Island, because they ask like, "Oh, where all have you lived?" and I'll tell them, "Oh, where's your favorite?" And I'm like, "Rhode Island." They're like,
"Hey,
what's there?" And I was like, so much. Huge diverse population, huge Hispanic population, which I was really happy about.
Yeah.
Because I didn't ever have to tell people what I was. They just assumed I was Dominican. It was great. It was great. It was great. Everywhere down south, though, what are you?
Yes.
You're something else.
Yeah. Here, we're going to assume. Here, you fit right in. Yeah. We're, between Dominican Cape Verdean from certain angles. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know Cape Verde was a place.
Most people.
I was like, what do you mean you're Cape Verdean? Where is that?
Yeah.
Someone had to pull up a map, zoom in. I was like, oh, wow.
Yes, Cape Verdeans. This is one of the, if not, I think the second largest outside of Cape Verde population. If not in Providence, it's going to be in Boston. And there's it's one community. We know each other. They're there on the weekends if they're not here. It's one big family.
Exactly.
Okay, so what did anchor you here in Rhode Island for those years?
Anchor me?
Yeah, what kept you here? You came...
My relationships.
Relationships, okay. So what was dating like in Rhode Island?
Let's see. Well, while I was here, I only dated 2 people.
Okay.
Both Dominican men.
Sorry, could we have tissue? Okay.
It actually wasn't that bad. Actually, I enjoyed being here and meeting people through my exes, and because everyone was just great. I just kept meeting more friends and then having more of a support system. So I mean, it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, so that is one of the things about Rhode Island.
Yeah. Everyone knows everyone.
Right. Which, if you're from here, it's like going to high school and then staying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which a lot of people, obviously if you're here. But if you're not from here, it's like being the transfer student. And so everyone's like, oh, shit, someone new. You're from another school. So it's like,
Okay.
I'm 10 years in. I'm still the new kid. I'm still the foreign exchange student. You know what I'm saying? Well, a local domestic exchange student. But, something like that. And that friend network kind of, and not network in like a professional way, but the fact that you can, through one person, end up with a solid group. So did you tribe enough here?
I did, but I feel like, because I was only here for what, like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
It wasn't long at all. And I feel like if I had stayed longer, I definitely would have tribed more. But I made some friends here that are what I consider my lifelong friends.
Yes.
Came to my wedding and everything.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah. No, I definitely tribed enough. I mean, there are great people here. Yeah. So it wasn't that hard to find good people. Yeah. People who aligned with me just in authenticity and just like life perspective. So I wish I had stayed longer. I mean, I got the itch though, and I was like, I gotta leave because the pay wasn't
the
that
pay.
great,
Okay,
you
well,
know?
you. I don't know if you booked the return flight, but feel free. There are plenty of opportunities here. I know people. But it's great to hear that people here were also at your wedding. My invite, it must have.
Oh my God.
Okay. By the way, no. I actually make clear to people, I'm okay. I'm actually just generally the friend that I don't need to be at your wedding.
Yeah.
If you want me there, one, I actually only want to be there if you actually have a specific role for me.
Yep.
I
would have made you flower man.
I would have flower girl too.
I would have.
I would have flower girl too.
I would have loved for you to be the flower person. That would have been great.
I would have. I saw one on YouTube who would did like a whole.
Yes, I would have expected a routine.
Yeah, I would have killed.
And I know you would have killed.
Okay, well, that was one wedding.
Maybe the next time. That was a practice wedding anyway. So
my price will go up. But
okay, that's fine. Talk. That's okay. That's okay. We can talk.
Well, I love that you were able to find that deep community. And did you get a chance to experience like what Rhode Island has to offer? Of Rhode Island's offerings, was there anything? I mean, we have amazing food.
Oh my God, the food. And now that I've lived in like a bigger city like Chicago, when I came back, even yesterday when I flew back in, I feel so much more comfortable navigating this city compared to navigating Chicago. Oh, yeah. I hate going anywhere alone in Chicago. Yeah. Going anywhere alone here, it feels like easy to me. Yeah. And I realize that, and I miss that, and I appreciate that. I feel like this is a perfect starter place for me to like feel established as an adult because I felt like a baby because I was a baby. But like, it's the perfect size. Yes. Perfect size. Yes. Great food. Yes. Great people. So many different cultures, which is just amazing. Yes. And I did love my jobs here. They were my favorite jobs, although the pay was bad.
Yes, we're working on that.
We're working on that. Okay, but they were by far my favorite jobs that I've ever had.
Well, I love that. Well, know that you always have a place here. If you ever, know what I mean, stop by. We are Rhode Island supports Amor and vice versa in partnership always. So you came here, attempts at love were made.
Yes.
Food was eaten, tribing occurred.
Yes.
And then you were done with us? What was your, I'm kidding, but what caused you to consider moving on, and what it
really was the job market and the pay. Because when I worked here, I think I got paid like $32K, and I had a part-time job.
Yeah. In 2020, anything?
Yeah. And it was really the industry that I was in because I was like in social work and stuff. Yeah. And so it just wasn't the best. I mean, granted, it's never the best no matter where you go, but it was like particularly pretty low here. And so I was just like, I gotta go. I feel the itch, and I just gotta get out. And plus, I just felt this urge to just move to Chicago. I didn't know why at the time. Now it makes sense, but like I didn't know why at the time, and I was just like, I feel like I just gotta go. Like I gotta go to Chicago now. And so I did. In the middle of winter, I moved.
In the middle of winter, you went to Chicago.
Everyone kept telling me to wait till the summer, and I was like, no, I feel like I gotta go now. Like I feel like I have to go now. This was in November when I started considering, and then I was moved there by January.
January.
This was at the peak of
Girl,
snowing seasons.
Girl, so I've been to Chicago. It's a
Mhm.
place I actually have a lot of love for, and we're looking forward to
Yeah,
talking
you have a
about.
lot of connections there, right?
They know me out there. Shout out to Shy. But I was there when the cold snap
Mhm.
that just was like, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Was going on. That was in January.
Yeah.
I was paid by school to go there, so
Yeah.
I was like, this wasn't really my choice.
Yeah, that's
But
like
you
vacation.
chose.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so an interesting entrance
Mhm.
into Chicago.
Yes.
What was it like once you got there? Where was your mindset, and how did
I think
Right.
I was just like ready for a new start. I had just ended my relationship
Mhm.
with our mutual.
Mhm.
So it was a lot going on, and I think I didn't have a place to live in Chicago, so I found a room
Okay.
with 3 male roommates.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was like a living New Girl. Have you ever seen the show New Girl?
Yes, I have. People
It
can
was
say I look like the guy.
Winston! That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Usually white women saying it, but
Yeah, I was gonna say,
nonetheless,
because I don't see
yeah.
it, but yeah,
Yeah,
okay. But yeah, I moved there and 3 male roommates. It was actually the best experience I think I could have had. I would have much rather had that than be by myself, because literally a month after I moved there, quarantine happened. And Chicago really shut down.
Yeah.
And didn't open up for like a full year and a half after. So I was in seclusion after I moved out of that apartment, which was like 2 months after I had moved in. But yeah, I was in seclusion for like 10 months straight by myself with just me and my cat.
Your cat.
My
Okay,
cat,
yes.
Mama.
Yeah.
My sweet baby. But yeah, and then a month after I moved there, the applications for Love is Blind started. And I was like, oh, I'm in Chicago. They're only in Chicago.
Okay.
So why not apply?
Wow.
I think I was drunk at the time because, quarantine had just started and everyone was like, all right, is
We
this
were
vacation?
mostly drinking.
Most people were drinking in the beginning because we didn't know when it would end and everyone didn't have work at the time. So it's just like,
It was weird to not be drinking right now. You just at home sober?
Yeah, like what are you
All
doing
day?
with your time? Like after a while, you get bored just binge watching Netflix. It's like, okay, let's party. Let's turn it up.
So that was January 2020.
2020, yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Life is an interesting thing because obviously all of this was meant to happen.
Clearly, right?
And you couldn't have moved there anytime other than that. And it made sense. You're not moving once after February or March, whatever the date is.
Because if I had waited till the summer, I wouldn't have applied. I wouldn't have gone on the show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been accepted.
Right.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Now I understand the urge to move.
Yeah.
It was whoever y'all believe in, the universe, God, whoever
sent you there. And that's the thing. Okay, so you just touched on a couple things. One, like your cat.
Yes.
So we are actually
another mutual.
We got mad mutuals. We have a blended family.
Yes, we do.
Where as you were getting ready to leave, you had 2 kids.
Yes, I had 2 babies.
And while you had your 2 kids, I had 2 sisters at home.
Yes.
That were saying, we want a cat. And I was like, you wanting a cat, you don't even clean up after yourselves. So you're saying you want a cat that you can pet, that I feed and I make sure is okay and
That's
I take
usually
care
how it
of?
goes. Yeah.
So we didn't move on that for a long time until you were in a place where you were leaving.
Yes.
And remind me, because you had 2 cats, George and Georgia.
Yes.
Beautiful names.
Yes.
But you were ready to let go of. Like, you want to leave one.
So the thing is like, okay, don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, I'm not looking.
Don't do that, because I see the shade.
I see the shade. It's just questions.
Anyways,
I'm glad. We love Joy.
I got the 2 cats. One was 6 months old. One was only a month, 2 months old, 2 months old.
Yeah.
So Mama was really small. She was like this big, and she was really sick.
Yeah.
And George was like,
yeah,
he was a big sucker. And he kept bullying her.
Yeah, he's kind of like that. He's kind of like that.
He kept bullying her. He was trying to play, I get, but he was like a little he was just too rough. And it was freaking me out, and I was like, I can't have this,
Yeah.
because I was so concerned for her health, because
Yeah.
she was sneezing blood and stuff.
Whoa,
So yeah,
okay,
she
yeah,
was really
okay.
sick.
It was getting real.
And
It
I
was
was
getting
like,
real over
I
there.
can't keep both of these. They're not a bonded pair. It just doesn't make sense. They're not getting along. And I was like, I gotta get rid of him.
Wow.
But I wanted him to go to a really safe family, because there was a woman downstairs who was like, "Can I take your cat?"
Oh my
And she
goodness.
came upstairs. She was like, "I just bought some food," and it's like food from the gas station.
Anything in your hand is not how you present a meal for a pet.
I was like, I'm concerned. No, you
Yes.
cannot have my cat.
Yes.
But thankfully, you know, this was presented, and I was
Yes.
like, I feel safe
Yes.
to give you this cat.
George has been an amazing addition to the household. I was absolutely right about the level of responsibility that I
Yeah.
would take for this cat, but I didn't expect to find a homie.
Yeah.
George is I was gonna bring him here, but it was my first time at bringing him to a studio. I wasn't sure if that would be the vibe.
It would have been too much.
It'd been too much. I don't be worried about him. But George is an incredible addition to the family. He's got a mind of his own. He takes care of himself. He's like me. He likes me the most of everyone in the house.
I believe that.
Except my sister sometimes when he's done with me.
Okay.
But I'm so glad that we have been able to have that shared, family.
It sounds like it was a perfect fit, because Mama is more like me. She's like clingy as all get out. She's like, pay attention to me now, and she will yell at you. But it sounds like a perfect fit.
Well, beautiful. Okay, so you and also you mentioned in your journey, and we'll talk about the role of kind of what you feel like the universe or faith or whatever has gotten you there. But let's get to it. Okay? So you're in Chicago.
Yes.
You apply to Love is Blind.
I do.
And you're going in blindly, or you're going in there open-eyed? How did you approach this? What were your expectations going in?
So as soon as I applied, I got a call back a week later. They said that they were supposed to be filming that fall, but of course COVID, so they had to push it back a full the next year.
Okay.
And I still didn't know if I would be a part of the final cast. However, I knew that I was in the running, because I was still doing things in the application process, like the questionnaire and the psyche val, and stuff like that.
Right, I was gonna say,
the psyche
that's some
val.
rigor to that.
Yeah. So I was still doing things, so I knew that there was a chance that I would be on the show and that I could possibly be married. So at this point, I took the full entire year to just really dive deep into myself and be very introspective. There's a lot of things that I hadn't worked on at all, and that I just kept pushing to the side from years before. And it was a lot to look at myself in the mirror, but there was just so much that I needed to mature on and to just work on. And so I started reading a lot of marriage books and just really preparing myself, because I knew I could possibly be married. And that's why I really wanted to go on the show, because I really thought that I was ready to be married, which I was. It wasn't even the show part, because I turned it down a few times in the application process.
Turn what down?
Love is Blind, the show.
Oh, you turned it down?
Yeah, I called them, I think about 3 times, and told them, I don't want to do it. I just don't think I want to be on TV. I don't want people in my business. And they just kept saying, oh, it's not that kind of show. We really want you to find love. We have great options here. Lie. And so I was just like, okay, you guys have convinced me, I'll take a chance and I'll do it. And so, they called me a month before we were supposed to start filming, and they told me, you're part of the final cast. Start getting ready. So I had to go buy a bunch of clothes, and they shipped me out, I think 2-3 days after my birthday, and I was dating.
Wow. Well, I mean, one, the clothes you bought, the outfits.
Oh, no.
They were giving, girl.
They were. Okay, some of them were giving.
Some. I remember yellow.
Okay, so that outfit was picked out literally as soon as I applied, and I was like, I need a reveal dress that fits me well, and it gave a little classy, and then it had the back out, and I was like,
something for you.
So I was like, this has to be the dress. Yeah. But other than that, the other stuff just, I didn't know what they were like. Wear date attire, and I was like, I don't go on dates like that. So I don't know. So I bought a bunch of business clothes.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit me now when I look back at it, but I'd be cute now if I would like if it was no, but
Yeah.
I didn't know myself. Then,
You know, and that is one. Were you like you seem like you prepared relatively rigorously
I did.
for the marriage
and I was 26
part.
at the time.
26. How are you now? You're
29.
29
I'm about to
now.
be 30.
Okay. Well, I'm 32, so you know, yeah, nothing. You're not, oh my God, I'm about to be 30. Okay.
Don't do that. This
No,
is
no,
a big
no.
milestone for
No,
me.
it is a big milestone. But the concern part, it sounded like it was a little bit like, I'm about to be 30. Like 30 is great.
I love 30.
30
I'm
is
excited to turn 30.
Yeah, and look at what you've already gone through.
I know.
All of it.
I know.
Because you realize in your 30s that your 20s wasn't
They
gonna
just
figure
weren't
out.
it.
You wasn't none of those things you thought made sense.
It was too much.
I'm
ready to start the next decade.
I love that for you. Okay, but were other people like anyone else as serious about
as serious
about the marriage part? Did you feel like others were into it in a similar way? Do you feel like you stood out in that part? Like,
I think that's definitely where I stood out.
Okay. Even amongst the women as well?
Even amongst the women,
Yeah.
I think I was the most, or I won't say the most prepared, but I will say I prepared the most.
Yeah.
So when I came, I had like a whole book of notes and questions because I started compiling my questions that I wanted to ask when I applied.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do I get to know someone in such a short period of time and know the depths of them? Like, how do I, but the part that I didn't take into account is that they could be lying to me, or even worse, they could be lying to themselves and inadvertently lying to me. So I didn't take that part into account. I kind of went into it thinking that everyone was thinking the way that I was, but that was also a naivety thing. I think I just 26, 27-year-old hadn't quite learned that lesson yet, you know. So, but I had prepared the most than everyone else because I remember someone commenting like, "Oh wow, you like really are serious about this." And I was like, "Well, bitch, because we're about to get married." But I know a couple of people, they'll tell you now, like, yeah, I kind of just applied because I thought it'd be fun. And I'm like, fun?
Right.
Are you crazy? And then I think some other people went like, yeah, I think it'd be really nice if I got married, but they didn't necessarily prepare for it. They were just like, well, take me as I am kind of thing. But I was like, no, I gotta be ready.
I mean, with that, right? So some people were like, I'm just gonna have fun.
Yeah.
You went through it, took it seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened, the story, all that, it's online. If you're here, you pause this and go find out how Love is Blind went for Iyanna.
Or don't.
But the question is like, okay, now that you've gone through, you took it how you took it. In hindsight, would you, if done again, would you focus more on just having fun? If you know, no? What would you do differently? Knowing that you don't feel strongly about the options anyway. Like if you were to go back in there knowing like, hey, don't expect to end up married with someone you like, would you have navigated it differently?
Still no. I think with a show like that, when you know you could possibly end up married, you have to take it seriously. You have to take it seriously. I think it's
Would you ask different questions? Would you?
No. The thing is I wouldn't have gotten married. I wouldn't have chosen anyone if I truly had. But the thing is like even me now, I think if I was forced to do it again with the knowledge that I have now, and I didn't have the ick with doing it, and I had different options of different guys, I would be more cautious this time, and I would listen to my intuition a lot more. I think then I didn't know myself well enough, and I kept questioning, are these gut feelings that I'm having, is this trauma? Like, am I so traumatized that I don't know what healthy looks like? Or is this truly my intuition? And I just kind of pushed it to the side and just said, Iyanna, you're traumatized. You don't know what good is. Meanwhile, my intuition was yelling. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, my intuition was yelling at me.
So, what was it like to have this, like, I guess, I mean, one, like, you I think both you and Jared ended up having some of the most kind of vulnerable things.
Yeah.
It was kind of wild watching like people like, yeah, I don't know, he's not Christian, I'm kind of, you know what I mean? And y'all were like, yeah, like I've been shot, like stabbed, like, you know what I mean? Like the problems that y'all kind of discussed openly in front of the world felt like there was a clear level of depth to it. So what was it like to kind of be navigating these like deeply personal things, just not even you both, but just you, you know, putting yourself out to the world in that way?
That's the thing. I wasn't even thinking about the fact that the world would see this. I think my focus was like, I don't want to marry someone who doesn't know these things about me.
Right.
I don't think it's responsible for them to not know these things about me before moving forward with marriage. And so I wasn't even thinking about people seeing it. I didn't know what they would include in the show. I didn't know, because there was actually a lot more that we shared that they didn't include. So I didn't know if they would include any of it, or if that I would find someone and end up with someone. So I just wanted to be as open and vulnerable with the people that I was dating, for the sake of like possibly ending up married. But it was a lot. It was a lot, but I think I'm just a naturally vulnerable person. I'm usually an open book in general. And the older that I get, the better that I learn like how to put boundaries up. But at that time, I didn't have any. So I was just like, hello.
Okay.
You know?
So now that you, and we'll, again, what happened, all that stuff is online. So this is Iyanna post that. This is you. You were on a farm yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I was on the farm.
Where's your headspace now, and what are your focus now, whether it involves or doesn't involve love? Like
so now I am a year post-divorce.
Okay. I don't know if that's a moment. I don't know. You know, okay.
But definitely a year post-divorce. Love that. So I just got back to the point of like being ready to intentionally date.
Okay.
I've been dating over the last year, but not for real, for real.
Okay. Yeah.
Just really having fun. I just been in the streets, you know. I've been in the street. But now I'm like, you know, it's ready. You know, settle down. It's time. You know, meet some people. So I've been on Hinge.
Okay. Hinging. Okay.
Yes, Hinge.
You Hinge?
I do now.
Isn't that like a celebrity Hinge or something like that?
There's Raya, but I'm on the waiting list apparently. But quite honestly,
get them follows up so you can. I don't think
I want to be on it though. I don't think I can end up with someone else who's like well known. I don't want people in my business like that again. So
niggas would not know. Kidding. Probably gotta take that part out. Okay.
But yeah, I've been dating now. And I'm just really full-time influencing right now.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I was on the farm.
Okay.
I have a collaboration with a dairy farm.
Yeah.
Which was random, but honestly a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm just lactose. You good with the lactose?
Oh, so I am lactose intolerant.
I thought that was. I remember looking at that. I was like, I see that. Why is lactose intolerance standing out to me right now? Okay, it's all good though, right?
But we made it a part of it. I was like, how do you make milk lactose free? You know, and they gave me lactate pills, so we were good. We were all good. You gotta, you know.
Yeah, all the lactose tolerant friends I know tolerate mad lactose.
Oh yeah, I tolerate mad lactose. I'm not even gonna lie. And I be hurting, but I don't care. It's just a part of life. It's a part of life. It's okay. But yeah, I'm just doing that full time. I'm in the middle of getting my doula certification. So I'm gonna be a birth support person. Yeah, that's really just about it. Oh, and focus on my podcast.
I love that for you. I love, you know, just rebirth, not that the divorce or anything like that, but just you are continually, I feel, watching from the outside, you know, remaking yourself. I am. And maybe not remaking in like a new identity, but like honing in and getting closer to the Iyanna Amor you're meant to be.
Always.
And I'm very excited for the journey.
Me
I'm very excited to watch, support, alongside. Chicago, I gotta pull up.
You do. You really do. I feel like you should have already. But
I know. I wanted us to have this conversation first.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Pull up, text you, I'm around here.
That's
like,
fair.
yo, I mean, let's first establish that, but it's definitely in the plan.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you for that. Okay. I had to ask you.
What?
I've heard.
Oh.
No, I've heard.
Oh.
Talk to me about the flute.
The flu?
The flute.
Oh, the flute. Oh, yeah, I used to play the flute.
You used to play the flute?
Oh, my God. That's what you want to talk about? That's so random.
So do you, okay, first of all, not just flute, like
And
what?
I played flute and piccolo.
Okay.
In middle school, high school.
You were a band kid.
I was a band kid.
What do you mean that's what you want to talk about? Yeah, I want to talk about you being a band kid.
I was absolutely a band kid.
Yeah.
I was in honor band. I was really all the bands.
Wow.
Yeah, I was actually really good. My teacher told me in my senior year, he's like, yeah, you could have gotten a scholarship, Iyanna.
Girl.
And I was not doing it. I just can't believe I missed out on that. But it's okay.
Platform. Bands.
I still have my flute.
Beyonce. We have a flutist.
No,
and piccoloist.
I'm not good anymore. At least I don't think.
Okay, you see, when you say stuff like that,
it's been like 10 years?
Every movie.
It's been 10 years.
Every movie where someone like gets back, blows off their and they're amazing, starts with them saying stuff like
I
this.
don't think that's how it works.
If it does work out like that, you heard it here. The road less traveled is where the spark was relit. But I love that. I love that because you're, first of all, one of the things I watched and was just like, I was so proud of you, you know what I mean? And like you just embracing, like people were like, oh, your laugh. And like, you know, people like you actually were trying to clown your laugh.
Yeah.
And then people online were like, girl, we love your laugh. Girl, like, you know, we like just love watching you.
Yeah.
And as someone was watching, like I'm watching because of you.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, you're killing it. You're funny. You're being yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, you're like so comfortably in your own skin.
You know
in such
what?
a way.
I didn't even realize that though until after watching the show and people were basically like affirming me so much. I didn't realize how dope I was until after that, which is strange for so many people to be telling me that, for it to finally kick in. And then even more so during my marriage when I was like, oh, this how you gonna treat me?
I am better than that.
Do
And
you?
the internet agrees.
Literally. I'm like, I have hundreds of thousands of people who agree, okay? And that's when it started to click, like, wow. I'm actually like a pretty unique person. I'm like bubbly, I'm charismatic, like I'm pretty dope.
Yeah, you are dope. And that's why I had to make sure to bring you into the road less traveled. And thank you. Before we get out of here, I do have a series of questions.
Oh no.
The way it works is Nori from the podcast Drink Champs has this thing called Quick Time with Slime.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about any of that, but shout out to Nori. This is you have to pick one of these two options.
Okay.
They're going to be things, some of them are Rhode Island related, some of them are Chicago, some of them are things I think or know about you.
Okay.
You just have to pick one. If you want to say anything about them, you can. Harold's Chicken versus Baja's.
I'm actually gonna go with Baja's.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Baja's beats Chicago's Harold's
Chicago.
Chicken. You heard it from Iyanna Amor.
Okay, now if you had said Baja's or Sharks,
okay,
I would have gone with Sharks because of that lemon pepper seasoning. But Baja's, ooh, them fries. Baja's is where it's at. Okay.
Baja's gang. Okay, let's see. Fame versus fortune.
Fame versus fortune?
Yeah.
I'll take fortune.
You'll take the fortune?
Yeah.
You working on that? You got the fame. You got the fame.
We're working on the fortune.
Working
I don't
on
want the fame.
Okay. Y'all can keep it.
Y'all can keep that. I want the money.
You want the money.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're working to it.
I'm working to it.
You're working to it.
I'm
Okay.
working to it.
Love that for you. Damson Idris.
Oh, okay.
Who's no longer with Lori, so you're no beef.
I saw that.
No beef. Oh, all right. Or Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, why would you do that?
This is what I'm here to do. That's the goal.
Okay, I think Damson is actually more of my type. Although, like, I mean, everyone loves Michael B. Jordan. He's good looking. He's good looking. I don't know enough about his personality, though.
He can cook.
Can he?
Yeah, he can cook.
I mean, that's nice, but I'll take Damson.
You'll take Damson?
I'll take Damson.
You'll take him. Okay, all right. All right. Well, love that. Okay, dating pre-social media or dating now?
Dating now.
Okay,
I have
why?
options for real.
Oh, them DMs. lit. Okay. Hip hop or R&B?
R&B.
Okay, R&B girl.
Now I
Now.
am. Before I was hip hop, back
Mm.
when it was like heavy J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar
Okay.
era. Now R&B.
Now R&B. Okay,
Mhm,
love that.
mhm.
Softening up. Night in or a night out?
Night in.
I didn't have that.
Easy.
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 Thought you was in the streets.
But I like going out
You
now.
like going out
I
now?
love going out now.
Okay.
I love to
okay,
dance.
Okay.
It's the dancing.
Okay.
You know?
Now, see, if I was in a relationship and we broke up and you was talking about me going out a lot and then you going out a lot.
But he was
Okay.
married. That's different.
Okay.
Be out till 7 o'clock in the morning.
So
Who does that?
All right. Well, you know, when you get married, I gotta stop liking the things I like.
No, but you have to have self-control.
Self-control
Go
is the
home
lesson.
at 3 o'clock at
Go
least. What's
home.
wrong
Go
with
home.
you?
Go home. Wait till she, goes to the girls' trip. Then no, just don't do it at all. Okay.
You want to get hit.
Okay. All right. Selena or Beyonce? Or you cannot.
Beyonce.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Beyonce.
All right. I was just checking. You're, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Mexican.
that's okay, but don't get me wrong. I love Selena though.
Okay. All right.
I love some Selena.
But you don't want the Beyonce.
But I'll take
You want
Beyonce. There's more Beyonce
Yes,
that I
that's
know
true.
versus Selena.
Also,
but I do know them Selena songs.
That's also the safest route.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
it is. Okay.
Okay. You're good.
Yeah,
Okay. And the last one was honestly, I just wanted to ask you about Daytrail.
Oh, I miss Daytrail.
Yeah.
I want to do
Daytrail misses
another
you.
one.
Come back. They do 3 in the summer.
I can't believe they do 3. I don't know why
Yeah.
they're.
You gotta pick one.
Okay,
Daytrail's critical.
I'm gonna go next year.
Shout out Stay Silent, Daytrail. Shout out Iyanna Amor. Thank you for coming, pulling up to the road show. Sorry,
It's
the
a
road
pleasure.
show. Thank you for pulling up to the road less traveled. Shout out to Slate Studio for making this possible.
Great
And
studio.
yeah, thanks to y'all watching. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, thank you guys. It's a pleasure.
All right. While sitting down.